now listening to the Cowboys from Hell podcast.
We're on?
Yeah, we're on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cowboy from Hell podcast. I'm your host, Landon Tusiasena. Episode 3 coming at you hot. I want to start off today to say, not to say sorry, but I want to address, I got obviously in episode 2, I talked a lot about my ex-girlfriends, and I got phone calls from both. The first one, the one that was living with her ex, she got pretty upset. She was mad. She said that I didn't make myself out to be a piece of shit enough, which I don't even know how I could have done that. I admitted that, after everything happened, I couldn't move on and I kept seeing other girls. I don't know how much else I could say. My other ex, the one that said, oh, you only dated me because I was hot. I mean, that's just the hard truth. That's really just the hard truth. So I'm not really sorry to either of you, but you're both good people. And I have not, a lot of people texted me and asked, oh, are you talking about this one? Are you talking about that one? I didn't give any names away, but I mean, it was pretty clear who I was talking about. Anyways, thank you to both of those ex-girlfriends for being a part of episode 2. That was very fun. If either of you want to come onto the show, you are more than welcome to, and we can talk it out. Moving forward, I want to share a quick story that's going to be the theme of today's episode. I used to work at a restaurant. I was a server at a sushi bar, and we would take the whole floor. It would just be me and another server. Excuse me. The server that was on shift with me that day, we'll call him Byron. So me and Byron are working together, and we were both single at the time, and we're both using dating apps. And he was using Tinder. I've always been more of a Bumble guy. I hear Hinge is great now too.
It is great, by the way.
Yeah, he's standing next to me, and I have like 5 tables going, and I can hear him talking to himself. And he's doing that thing where you talk to yourself on purpose so the person next to you can hear because you want them to ask you about it, which is fine, whatever. I don't do that kind of shit. I would just bring it up, but he's doing that. And so I finally turned to him and go, bro, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, nothing. He's like, we could talk about it later. And I'm like, the only thing I heard you say to yourself was, it was the best head of my life. He's like, it was the best head of my life. And now I'm like, well, dude, I'm already stopped my work. What do you want to tell me? He's like, okay, I matched with a girl on Tinder, and it was more than I bargained for. And I'm like, oh, well, now I got to know. So our shift was over in a couple hours. We go outside, and we're smoking a cigarette in the back. And he goes on to tell me this wild story where he's on Tinder. He matches with this pretty little Asian girl, and she said, come over. He says, of course I'll come over. Downtown Salt Lake City. He gets in his car and drives about 45 minutes. He gets to her apartment and walks through the door, and the lights are low. I mean, this is according to him. And I tagged him in my story, but there's no way you can see it because I made it white over some white. But if you find it, that's our guy. Anyways, he walks in, the lights are low, and she says, wow, you are so hot, even hotter than the pictures. He's like, thanks. And she starts kissing him right off the bat. My interactions on dating apps haven't really worked out like that, but it is what it is. If you're on Tinder and you're probably trying to fuck, it is what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. So they start hooking up, and after they make out, she immediately goes down on him, and this is what he was referring to earlier. It was the best head of my life, which is a beautiful thing, but well, we'll get to that. Anyways, after he's done, she's done. He goes to return the favor, and she says, stop, wait. And that's when he finds out she is a trans girl and that she is pre-op. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, my mind is blown, and I know Byron very well. And I know he's one of the nicest guys that I associate with. And he's, I wouldn't call him, he's a little bit of a pushover sometimes. I said, dude, how did you respond? And he goes, well, I didn't want to be mean, so I just was like, hey, I wish you would have told me earlier. And now I have a million questions going through my head, like, how did you not know, which is not that good of a question because there's a lot of different ways he couldn't know. I mean, 1, he could have been so horny, he's been in a drought, he's not even thinking about that. 2, he's probably super attracted to her, so he wasn't also thinking about that. And then 3, the way that the whole thing went down, he walks in, the lights are off in the apartment, and boom, she jumps his bones like that. He said, yeah, I responded and just said, hey, that's not cool. You should have told me earlier. Our producer said he's matched with a couple trans girls and he wishes it was in the bio. That makes sense.
You got to put it in the bio.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I recently was on Bumble. I don't remember. This might have been a year or two ago, and I matched with a trans girl too. She was hot. We started chatting, and I think my personality. She said, "Oh, you don't really want to hang out," and I was like, and my friends are sitting next to me, and my friend Steven's giving me so much shit. He's like, "Dude, stop! You're not serious. You're just trying to be funny." No, dude, look. If any of my friends go down that road, it's all good. I mean, my philosophy is, if you don't tell me, and we get to a bar and we hang out and we're having a good time, and we start making out, like at that point, I mean, I didn't know anyway, so whatever, it's on. But it's easy for me to say because I've never been in that position. But got in that position, and he said that he got upset. And I said, well, let me see a picture. So he sends me a picture. We're gonna put it up on the. No, I'm just kidding. We're not gonna do that. But the picture, to me, it was quite obvious, but to him, it wasn't. And then he tells me, hey, I said, did you see her again? And he goes, no, definitely not. I stopped talking to her. And he left his phone on the counter. And I went to change his Facebook status to I got my girlfriend pregnant because I thought it'd be a funny prank. And it just so happened that the phone was open and I shouldn't have looked. This is a confession right here, but dude, he did not stop talking to her. And I'm pretty sure he saw her again, which is cool. I mean, I think that we should destigmatize a lot of things in 2020, especially during a time like this when there's a virus going around the world and everyone's losing their jobs. Like, let's just let it fly now. Like, well, how can you judge someone for this and that? I mean, my mom and dad believe that a guy survived in a whale's belly and Jesus saved him and the whole world was flooded and all these animals got on a boat. Like, I'd have a harder time admitting that I believed that rather than, I hooked up with a trans girl. I mean, that's just not an issue anymore in 2020. At least not for me, I don't think it is. And I can't wait to hear the responses to this one. But dating sites in general are they're so big nowadays and they're really weird with the filters. Like, I can filter out, like, I want someone religious, I don't want someone religious. I want to see race filters on dating apps. I think that one would cause a little bit of trouble. Someone told me if you have like the exclusive account on some of these, you can filter out or filter in races, ethnicities. That is so interesting to me. I saw TikTok, again, back to TikTok. I saw this Asian girl. She keeps posting these videos and she's complaining that Asian women they don't value their beauty, so they find themselves with dorky white guys. And she's like, shows a picture of her mom and her dad because she's half white. That is so silly to me because that is not an issue. To me, I don't see that as an issue as Asian women not valuing their beauty. This is anecdotal, but my Asian friends are raised to value stability, financial stability, and what's the word? I don't know, financial stability and like conservative mindsets. So if a girl is raised to value that and she wants that in a partner,
Probably a dorky white guy.
Exactly. Thank you. My white producer for saying that. I didn't feel comfortable.
Coming from a dorky white guy.
Was dating an Asian girl. Holy shit, I didn't even think about that. That's pretty fucking funny. Well, I mean, one of my friends is half black, half Japanese, and his mom is like Japanese, like not even first generation. She's a Japanese immigrant. And his dad's a black guy, very debonair, cool black guy. But she is unlike any other Asian girl I've ever met. She's very, very hip. I mean, obviously there's hip Asian girls out there. Just growing up in Torrance and Redondo Beach, we have a huge Asian community, and a lot of my Asian friends are very conservative in their likes and their fashion and just their walk of life. So when I saw a girl on TikTok complaining about that and saying, "Oh, we don't value our beauty," like I just don't think that's the issue. I've shot my shot with Asian girls, and the only ones that respond are Filipino girls, and I'm not going to get into that because now we're starting to get racist. All right, moving forward, we might need to cut out that line right there.
Drop the Filipino part.
Yeah, thank you. As far as the last thing I want to say about dating apps is, I remember matching with so many girls, and like everyone wants to talk and get to know each other on a dating app. That's so strange to me. I don't want to get to know you in these like little yellow conversations. Like, either meet at a bar and grab a drink, or don't. Let's just move on. I think the dream date for a girl, at least in 2020, there's a lot of weird shit going on, a lot of weirdos out there. Grabbing a drink should be the go-to as far as the date goes. You meet at a bar, it's public as fuck. You don't have to commit to a full meal. You both grab a drink, you get to talk. You know within the first 5 to 10 minutes if you want to invest any more time into this person. So grabbing a drink seems like the perfect thing to do. And I hear girls complain all the time, like, oh, I don't want to grab a drink. If you don't want to commit to a dinner, like, I'm worth more than that. I'm just like, dude, that doesn't make any sense, especially with the creeps out there. I mean, there's some stupid ass chicks out there. It's sad. Someone got kidnapped, and I mean, your first date should not be meeting at a park in the middle of the night. And if I have to say that to you, I mean, Jesus Christ. Anyways, single girls, if you want some advice, you should be looking for a guy who is in and out of a relationship. Maybe like, I mean, I'm not saying go for a guy who's married, but if he's just dead single, I guarantee you he is out there. He's out in these streets and he's having the time of his life. So it's you versus quite a few different girls. If he's in a complicated relationship, he's always in and out. That's the only girl you got to worry about. So I don't know. That's my advice to ladies being single. On our next episode, we are going to have a girl who has mastered the single game. Her name's Pam. She was on Quarantine Confessions on Instagram. She was a really fun episode. She has great advice for guys going after girls. She talked about the cold DM. I always wondered, like, not for myself, but for my friends, I always wondered, like, the cold DM, does that only work if you have some kind of notoriety behind your name? Because I would assume that's how it works. And she said, basically, yes, the cold DMs, a girl can see your DM request and go to your page and look at everything immediately. And imagine if a girl's getting 150 cold DMs every couple days, you're going to have to bring something to the table right off the bat. You're going to have money, you're going to have to be super hot, or you're going to have like the most insane dialogue. That's the only way that the cold DM is going to work. And really, that's probably one of the only ways that, I mean, just picking up chicks in general, that's always a good thing to look at. My friend Mike texted me and said, I think you should help guys out more on how to get girls and how to be more social on your podcast. And I would love to do that. I would love to have guys send in questions. And I have a lot of close friends that they text me screenshots of their conversations with women, and they say, how should I respond to this? Or they send me a girl's profile on Instagram and say, hey, we just started DMing. What should I talk about and stuff like that. So I love helping out my close friends. If any guys out there have any questions on how to talk to girls or what to do or what to say, I would love to answer those questions. So send them into Instagram, DM me your questions, and can hopefully help. Again, I think I wrote down on my little list here, you got to have one of these three things. You got to have money, you got to be physically attractive, or you got to have really good dialogue. That means you know how to talk to girls and you know what to say and when to say it. If you don't, there is a foolproof little escape hatch. And that escape hatch works for every single guy, and it's called what I call the self-awareness escape hatch. So I'm struggling to get chicks. I'm on a drought. It's been 6 months. I have some money. I'm not a bad-looking guy. I'm trying to work on my dialogue, and it's just not happening for me. So I escape to the self-awareness hatch. That self-awareness hatch is in the floor. You open it up. You dive in. That self-awareness hatch means your standards on maybe beauty are a little too high, and it's time for you to dive through that hole and maybe go find a 2 or a 3, someone who's gonna keep you warm in the middle of the night, someone that you can I don't want to say practice on, but someone to they call them slum busters and things like that. I mean, women, it should work for you too. If you guys are struggling, your your standards might be just a little too high. So I'm not saying you have to go date someone that's not cute, but like, why not just go have some fun for a couple weeks with, take that number. You're looking for a 7 or 8. Let's go down to a 5 or a 4 just for fun. Let's just see what happens, because that might build your confidence. And when it's time to go back out to the wild, you might have yourself some fun.
I've personally been that 5 or 4 that girls have went on, and it's really, really great. So chicks, I definitely think you should go do this.
Yeah. Come on now. Ladies, gentlemen, we find ourselves in the friend zone, and what we do to girls is we'll take them. We don't put girls in the friend zone. We put girls in what I call the fuck zone. And the fuck zone is, I only want to have sex with you. This is not going to go anywhere. And so as guys, we find ourselves in the friend zone where she just views me as a friend. She doesn't want anything more. But ladies, you have to ask yourself, are you in the fuck zone with a lot of these dudes? Is he just calling you to hang out, late night hours? He only wants to hook up with you. You guys don't really go on dates. You've been hooking up for a long time, and he doesn't call you his girlfriend. You're not really hanging out with him and his friends. It's just one-on-one time. That's called the fuck zone, and unfortunately, we do it to girls all the time. Ladies, if you find yourself in the fuck zone frequently, my advice to some of my close friends, I'm not going to say her name, but one of my friends, she's very attractive. And she doesn't have a hard time getting guys, but she has a hard time keeping guys. And if you find yourself in that zone, ladies, I think you need to reevaluate how soon you have sex when you're on a date. If the first time I hang out with you, we're hooking up and having sex, I hate to say it, but I'm most likely, probably 90% of the time, gonna lose interest, because that's what I was coming here for. And now that I got that, I'm not really concerned with much else that you have to offer. I heard a horrible story where a girl hooked up with a guy on Bumble, and she got out of the bathroom and he was in bed on Bumble again. Like, I mean, that is some savage ass shit right there. But that is the way it is out there. So if you really want to know a guy's true intentions, ladies, or if you're really interested in finding something long-term, I would suggest don't have sex on the first couple dates. What's going to happen is he's going to either show his true colors and bounce on you and be like, okay, that's all I wanted anyways, or you are going to get to know him a little bit better, and you're not going to have that sexual attachment, and you're going to say, oh, I don't even like this guy that much anyways. Whatever. I'm over it too. A lot of girls... I know it feels good to be wanted and to have that attention, and so a lot of girls use their sexuality nowadays. I mean, you can see on Instagram the battle of the sexes. I mean, if you just take a little look on Instagram and TikTok, like, we won a long time ago, ladies. It's not even close. It's not even close. We used to have to beg girls, please send me a picture of you in a bikini. Please send me a picture in your lingerie. We don't need to ask for anything. I don't even have to fucking know you. I can go on your Instagram and see all I need to see. So if you're still wondering who won the battle of the sexes, let this be a fucking announcement. The men won a long time ago. Now, ladies, it's your turn. How can I win some power back? One of my favorite responses after episode 2 was from my little sister. She's 18 years old and she listens to the podcast. But she said, wow, I loved episode 2. It really gave me an insight into men's minds. She's like, they really are just that simple. They really do just want that one thing. And I said, yes. I said, what does that make you want to do now moving forward? And she said, I feel empowered. She goes, now that I know what all these idiots are thinking, she's like, I can use that to my benefit. And ladies, that is how you should use it to your benefit. One of my friends, she got cheated on, and it was pretty public and brutal. And she immediately left and she bounced, and she messaged me and said, oh, I really didn't like that. I really didn't like that episode. You said that it's okay when guys cheat, but not when girls cheat. I wasn't saying it's okay. My point was for when you guys get cheated on, ladies, or men too. Well, just ladies, actually. My point was for the girls. When you get cheated on, you don't have to look in the mirror and go, what did I do wrong? Am I not cute enough? I said this in the podcast. The point was, you can't take it personal. There's no reason to compare yourself to her because, like I said, she's just a warm apple pie on the counter. And if that message wasn't clear enough, I don't know what to tell you because I was pretty fucking clear in episode 2. Another response I got My friend, it's hard not to say names, but she had just gotten cheated on and she was like, oh my God, this is awesome. She's like, I really needed to hear this because we were dating for a whole year and I found out he was sleeping with another girl on and off. And she's like, I just got to keep reminding myself that bitch is just an apple pie and I'm so much more than that. And ladies, this is the point of this whole segment. I want you guys to use this to get inside of a man's mind and empower yourself. Because, again, we won the battle of the sexes, but now it's time for you to take some of that power back.
Let's go, ladies.
This is the most feminine podcast ever. I mean, I am a champion for women. And girls, when you're on that first date, let's not even say first date. The first time you have sex with a guy, you can't put too much on that first time. I mean, if it works out and your guys' chemistry is clicking, that's great. But just know, the dick that we give a girl on a first date is not the same dick that you're going to get in a relationship. There's so much fucking pressure on guys. I have a friend that's 24 years old. Okay, I got to make sure I don't share too many details because I don't want anyone to know who I'm talking about. But he's 24 years old. He just met a very beautiful, beautiful young lady. And he's gorgeous too. They're having the time of their lives. They're going out all the time. And he can't get hard the first time. And she's patient. She's like, it's cool. Don't worry about it. He wasn't doing any coke. He wasn't even, well, he might have been really drunk, but he wasn't doing any cocaine, which is pretty much the only reason I don't think most guys can't get hard. But they go on a second date. The third and second date, he still can't get hard. And she is so nice. She's not the kind of girl that's going to be like, oh, wow, you can't get hard for me. She was like super patient. And I talked to him about it. And he's like, well, do you have any friends that use pills? And of course I do. I have a couple friends that use pills. And I said, dude, you're 24 years old. You shouldn't be having this problem. And he's like, okay, I know. I was like, it's all mental. Just relax. But it helped a lot that she didn't care. And so finally he gets it done. And he texts me at like 1 a.m. And he's like, bro, I did it. I didn't even need the pills. And I was so happy for him. So congratulations. I'm just kidding. Beep that out, okay? Please beep that out. Congratulations, my man. But again, my point was that, ladies, the dick that you get on the first date is not going to be the dick that you get in the relationship. I think once we get comfortable, I mean, obviously you guys got to be comfortable, but once we get comfortable, we can really put on a show. I can't even tell you the amount of ladies that I've soft-cocked out there because I was too fucked up, man. Big apology to all my girls out there. I know a lot of the times I come off really brash and it sounds like, wow, I can't believe you just said that. But like, this is the way you have to find yourself in this I don't give a fuck attitude. You really, I know it's hard, but you got to put yourself in that mindset, especially when you're dating and trying to find girls. This is for the gentlemen out there. One of my brothers, I'll just admit it, it's one of my brothers. He asks, what is a simp? And the word simp is fucking hilarious to me. It's this Gen Z term that they came up with. And as far as I mean, the way that I use the word simp is, it sounds like it's derived from the word sympathy, which I'm pretty sure it is. And it's guys that use sympathy to try to get girls or get back with their girls. And I can tell you right now, gentlemen, that is the least powerful way. That is the worst way to go about trying to get a girl, is to try to appease to her sensitivity and make her feel bad for you. If you are going through life with this mentality of, oh, maybe if she feels sorry for me, I can get something from her. Oh my God. One, even if she does bang you, because that's going to be the worst sex ever. Two, it's not going to last. That's not a lasting mindset. And then when my brother asked what is a simp, me and my sister told him, and he goes, okay, well, if feeling sad about my ex past relationships and missing them makes me a simp, then I'm a simp. Yes, that is what a simp is. That does make you a fucking simp. And again, if you have that mentality or that mindset, you have got to do all you can to get over it and get rid of it. That's not going to get you anywhere in the 2020 dating pool. It might get you a little bit of attention, but again, that is not the kind of attention that you want. The I don't give a fuck attitude is the attitude that you have to go with. Now, I'm not saying be disrespectful to women. I'm not saying be an asshole. I'm not saying go nag girls or try to do any of that bullshit. All I'm saying is put it out there. I think you are so hot. You are gorgeous. I would love to hang out with you. But if you don't want to hang out with me, it's not going to change my night. I'm going to move on because there's a lot of hot chicks at this party. If you can master that mentality, I promise you, you will have a lot easier time getting ladies. And I know this sounds weird, but that muscle that you use to get chicks is the same muscle you use to get business opportunities, to get guy friends, and to keep friends. Because nobody wants to feel like you're no one wants to feel like they are being relied upon so heavy for another person's mental health or happiness that they can't make any mistakes. Everyone wants to be able to be themselves. So if you make other people feel like, man, I can really be myself around them. I don't have to worry about getting judged or any of that shit. If you can make people feel that way, you're gonna get chicks and you're gonna have a lot of friends. Now, a lot of people go, oh, what does this fucking guy know about that? I don't know much, you know. One of my brothers has a degree in finance, and I have to call. He's probably so annoyed. I call him about money questions constantly because he knows money, because he spent a lot of years in college learning about the value of money and how it works in today's society. So I was trying to figure out which kind of credit card I should get. I just had to call him about that. I don't know finance. I don't know about a lot of things, but I promise you I know about chicks and I know about friends, because that's literally the only thing I get in this world. I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of valuable things, but I feel like I have done a good job with being able to get women and being able to keep and have a lot of friends. So again, if you have questions about that, if you want to reach out, if you want to share stories and any kind of advice, go ahead and message the at Cowboy from Hell podcast on Instagram. We are now on TikTok too, at Cowboy from Hell podcast TikTok. Also, we have an email. It's at Cowboy from Hell podcast at gmail.com. Thank you to our producer. Jump on there, ask your questions. We're going to have a friend on the show very soon, a very pretty, young, fun girl who has hooked up with a lot of celebrities. She's you know what? I'm gonna let her tell her story. I'm gonna pose questions on Instagram for guys to ask her. Now she's Twitch famous, so if you want to play video games with her, you can go play video games for her. I think she does the thing where she plays Fortnite and has her titties out or something like that. No, not bare titties. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she has a fans only page. That's one thing the Cowboy from Hell podcast will probably not be having, is a fans only page, because I don't think anyone wants to see me in pictures of Jason on there. But cheers to you guys. Thank you for joining us for episode 3. I'm so excited to see your questions. I'm so excited to see how this turns out as far as advice goes, as far as stories goes. Bring me your stories, bring me your questions, and hopefully I can help. Thank you for watching the Cowboy from Hell podcast. All right.